I'm Ryan Faluna, your Customer Success Manager, also known as Nightfall in the Pro Chat. This is Stephen Orr, our Senior Vice President and Master Trader, also known as Big Beat in the Pro Chat. I'm sure you are all aware of Big Beat. I'd like to start off this webinar. Steve and I are both very big baseball fans, so I'd like to start this webinar off by asking Steve, what did you think of the World Series this year? And do you remember when the playoffs started, when you asked me who I thought would win, and I said the Nationals would win?
Well, Ryan, as a Cardinal fan, I am fully aware of your love of the Chicago Cubs, and so I think you were happy to see the Washington Nationals win the World Series, and you did make a very good call there. As you know, I used to live in D.C. many years, so I was there when they built the stadium, and I've been in many Nats games. So I was very happy for them, very sad for my Cardinals. But that
really quickly, I've heard that park is beautiful. Can you confirm that?
It's very, very nice.
Awesome.
Yes, very nice.
Awesome. Never been. Definitely want to go. Okay. I want to be at least a little bit modest here. Thank you for acknowledging my call. I remember that you made a pretty big call not long ago regarding biotechs being hot. How's that going?
Yeah, you know what, Ryan? It's very true. The biotech world, I saw it coming. One of the things I was looking for is the PDUFAs at the FDA. That's when they make the decisions on the drugs. And I saw a huge lineup on the FDA site, as well as the biocatalyst sites out there. And I knew it was going to be very hot, and it is. It's hotter than I even thought about it myself. I made some big moves in the biotech world, getting ready for those, and did pretty well. Biotech isn't slowing up. It's still going to keep going. It's still going to be pretty hot, probably all the way through to maybe March. So we should be good there. You'll notice I also made a big call on the pre-market prep show with Dennis Deck and Spencer Israel, saying that we're going to see a huge move as well in the regional railroads like CSX. After making that call, CSX jumped $8. I also said look at MLM, that I saw that infrastructure was going to continue to push. I made a big call back in the summer saying that infrastructure stocks were going to fly, and they have done their thing. I will say now that infrastructure stocks probably are slowing up now. The trade deal is probably going to happen, maybe not on our timeline, but it's going to happen. And quite frankly, the move is made. I think a lot of people have also been asking about other things going on. I made another call, which was on gaming world, and I said, stay out of that market right now. The games are not that good. They're going to be great for next year when we have the new consoles. So I said, stay out of that, and we've seen EA, ATVI, those companies all come back down. So made some pretty good calls, and looking forward to some new ones today.
Yeah, that's right. And so what else is hot today? What else do you think that we can look after today?
You know, one of the things that I think that you and I have been talking about lately is going to be in the retail sector, right? One of the things that we talked about, and tell me about it, Ryan. You saw the retail numbers, right?
Yep. So I was actually referring to inflation. Have you seen any inflation out there?
Yeah, well, you know, one thing about inflation is that it's constant, no matter what. If you're in a deflation period, then you're in a recession period, and we've had that right back in 2000.
All right, so it looks like we lost Big Beat there, having a little bit of an internet connection issue. Obviously, he will be right back as soon as possible. So I just wanted to carry on our real quick thought regarding inflation that Steve was getting to here. I do have some numbers. One of the best ways to think about inflation is to think about it in terms that you can recognize. I didn't really study inflation a whole lot, but I can actually observe this in things that I recognize. And I did bring some stats here for you on that. We chose, because we're in November now and we're rapidly approaching Thanksgiving, we chose the cost of a Thanksgiving meal for 10 as the benchmark to kind of monitor inflation. So what we have here is in 1980, the cost of a Thanksgiving meal for 10 people was $19.39. Also, just in case you're football fans like we are, the Bears defeated the Lions 23-17 in 1980. In 1990, 10 years forward, the cost of the same Thanksgiving meal for 10 was $28.85, and the Lions beat the Broncos 40-27. In 2000, okay, Y2K, the cost of the Thanksgiving meal was $32.37, and the Lions whooped the Patriots. I said that right. The Lions whooped the Patriots 34-9. In 2010, the cost of the same Thanksgiving meal for 10 was $43.47, and the Patriots returned the favor, whooped the Lions 45-24. And then in 2018, the cost of a Thanksgiving meal for 10 was $48.90, and the Bears beat the Lions 23-16. So what those stats mean is that over the course of the last nearly 40 years, the cost of Thanksgiving has been going up fairly steadily, and obviously there are some fluctuations. I believe the highest was 2016. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I believe it's been declining slightly ever since then. So the issue here is that the price of Thanksgiving is inflating, but it has no correlation to the scores of the football games. So that was just a little tidbit that we wanted to enter there. So and then also to follow up on what Steve was saying before he dropped out here, the retail sales posted the biggest decline in 7 months in September. So when Big B comes back, I'll have him talk about that. But obviously, these are big things that are going on in the market right now, and there's so much. There's only so much that you can watch. There's only so much that you can plan for. So in this particular case, inflation is definitely something that we're going to see. Again, I'll have Steve talk about that when he comes back. One of the things that I wanted to do right away here, we'll do this while we're waiting. Let me get rid of this screen here. One of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to briefly cover some of the changes that we've made, or one of the big changes that we've made in Benzinga Pro. And I'm going to show that for you now. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And what I'm going to show you, this was one of the reasons that we talk about asking questions, is because our product development is driven by what customers want, different requests customers make, what they think is important to their trading style, and then to just their platform in general. And one of the biggest requests that we've had in a long, long time was the ability to save layouts. And I just wanted to cover that again, because I actually just spoke with a couple of clients the other day that actually weren't aware that this was in there. So I just want to bring it to everyone's attention. When you set your workspace up, this is called the workspace. So I have 4 tools loaded into one workspace. And if you look here at the top, I've actually named this workspace main. I have several other workspaces. I've got one that I've dedicated to the movers tool, also the screener and the calendar, etc. But anytime that you lay tools out on the page, that's called a workspace. Then any groupings of workspaces that you have is called a layout. And we now give you the ability to save those layouts so that you can access them at any time and from any computer. So if you set your layout up on one computer, you'll be able to log into your Pro account from another computer and load that exact same layout. You can also save multiple layouts. So you can have one designed for mobile, even though Pro's not designed for mobile. We'll be talking about that a little bit too, is coming up here. You'll be able to create different layouts for different tasks, and then you'll be able to load those layouts. The other thing here is you see that I've got 9 workspaces. The more workspaces you have, the more memory the platform is going to consume. So if you notice that your platform if stuff is not working correctly or anything like that, set up a different layout and then save that layout. Looks like we got Big Beat back here. Big Beat, are you all right? Did Sasquatch come get you?
I think so. I was the internet just went down in the studio down here, so.
Well, that happens to even the best of us. Let me loop back and tell you where we're at. I'm going to finish describing the layouts here. I went over the cost of Thanksgiving meal and then the retail sales numbers. So as soon as I finish this, I'm going to bring you back to tell us a little bit more about that.
Great.
Regarding the layouts, one of the suggestions that I have, if you find that having a whole bunch of workspaces is eating up the memory resources on your computer and causing Pro to crash or slow down other applications, my suggestion would be build your workspaces in one or 2 sets. Okay, so for example, I would just have main and movers here, and then I would just save that as a layout. And then I would maybe load up screener and calendar and save that as a layout. And that way you can go back and forth between layouts and hopefully not have any of the memory issues cause any type of error with your platform. So just another way to actually do things. We are releasing more and more performance patches. We'll be talking about that a little bit later too. So again, just to reiterate, upper right corner, 3 dots, select layouts from the menu there, and you'll see the layout menu. It'll have some recent ones in there. The current flag will denote which one you're on. Then you can go ahead and save it, name it, and when they're saved, you can load them and delete them. So definitely use this feature, highly requested. We finally got it in there for you, and we're really happy with how it works. We do have some improvements coming for it soon too, so but definitely get those set up as soon as you can. Okay, Big Beat. So now that I've finished the layout section, just wanted to double back. I did mention how inflation was going on right now. I gave
Yes.
them the stats for the cost of Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't go into the impact or the why of that. Would you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, what's interesting right now, and thanks, Brian, we saw that the biggest decline in retail sales in the last 7 months have happened. And so what we're trying to find out is how good is this holiday season? And we just found out that consumer confidence was at 97.5 today. That's really, really high. That means that people out there still buying. That means they're not stopping. They're feeling good about the world. But they're trying to get those deals out there. There's quite a few deals going on right now, but they're really trying to get the big deals, the 60–70% off. So I keep my eye on my Gmail, my promotions tab, making sure that I see those. But there's other ways that we can see that within Benzinga Pro, and this is how I do it, Ryan. Now,
Okay.
Ryan, if you don't mind, would you open up a screener for me? Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, sure. I think I've actually got one here handy.
Excellent. The screener is where I go to look for those different retails sectors. Now, within the platform itself, within Screener itself, you can sort by sector. And the one sector that I want to look at is called consumer cyclical. Now, Ryan, if you'll see the little button there, yep, you got it. You'll see consumer cyclical. Just click on that. You've got it, right?
Oops, I accidentally added real estate. Apologies
Yeah,
there.
you never know. Real estate has inflation too, right? But right now, I want to look at the retail sector in regards to the Amazons, Costco's, those kind of things. And I really want to look at margins of companies. And that's how I know that a company is doing quite well. And so what I want to look for is gross margins. So if you look for gross margins, you should be able to see that. Yep. It's one
And
of the
not
top
restated, right? The traditional gross margin?
Yeah, traditional gross margins are the only way that I look at them. You can see the restated, there may be some mistakes or issues in them. But right now, for the trading purposes, you want to do just gross margins. Yeah.
And what other columns would you like me to set up here?
I want you to add profit margin as well.
Got it?
I want to look at PE ratios of companies.
So I believe I've already got that here as well.
Yeah. And then we're going to look at PEG ratios too. That's price to earnings to growth, right? PE over growth. We want to see not only is the company healthy, but is it growing as well? We want to see a good PEG ratio of around 1. And then I want to see institutional ownership. I want to see, hey, are the smart money, are they also buying that retail sector as well? Are they buying that stock as well? So I want to see institutional ownership.
All
Okay.
right.
Now, in the PE ratio, right now we know that the markets are somewhere between right around on the S&P 19, right? So I want to look for stocks between 15 and 30 in the PE. Now, 30 on the higher end could mean that a company is growing. We'll find that out at the PEG ratio, right? And then on the gross margin section, I want to look between 10 and 100. I want to see that a company actually is got some good margins, right?
You said 10 and 100, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so, Ryan, looking at the side, looking at the way you've got it lined up, that's great. And we see institutional ownership on the right-hand side. If we sort that by institutional ownership, the bigger ones being first, we can look to find stocks that would, where we call the smart money. What are they buying? And it looks like they're right there at the top. There's a Home Depot, right?
That's right.
And so if you look to the left, you're going to look at profit margins. You're going to look at gross margins. Are they growing? That PEG ratio is 3 is a little high for me, but they are growing. So you'll see that the gross margins is 34%. That is very good. That's a stock that probably will continue to run. A company like that, especially like you said earlier, looking at the home sales too, as well as in the inflation sector, we've seen home prices continue to go up. That's probably going to be a good sector there as well. So now you might have found a good retailer there. Looks like Bloomin' Brands. You got to eat, right? So how are they doing on those steaks and those Bloomin' Brands, right? Maybe also want to look at Yum Brands. We all know that Yum Brands is KFC and Pizza Hut, and people got to eat. So those margins are very high. But we also want to look at companies like Best Buy, Amazon, Costco. Are the retailers buying for the holidays? And we're going to find that out pretty soon. But the good telltale sign for me was consumer confidence was very high. So my next pick, here we go, is the retail sector going in all the way into probably first 2 weeks of January. That's right. So if you're playing the options market, you can probably go a little deeper this time. You can probably play a month or two out. And so those stocks will be right on your radar. Look for high margins, high growth, and look for companies that are in a growing sector like homes and restaurants. People are eating out a whole lot more than they were in the past.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Now, so I already covered the layouts. Do we have anything else to cover regarding the retail sector at all?
What I would like to do, Ryan, is kind of show them the new stuff coming out
Okay.
at Benzinga, and I think that's when we can show maybe something that's really cool coming out of my watch list that we can add to the retail sector page that you want to look at that. But right now, the first thing I want to show you guys out there is what we have, and you've been asking for quite a while now, is our new mobile app. Now, the new mobile app is called Stock Clock, and that's right. We're going to put that app website right into the chat room so you guys can see it at stockclock.io. But right here it is. Can you see that, Ryan?
I can. You can also, let's see. Yeah.
So, yeah, so the stockclock.io is the website. And so what you'll be able to do from there is you'll be able to download it. And that's so you can have iOS or if it's Apple or Android on Google Play. Right now, it's on beta version. We're testing it out right now. Your guys are right now on trials out there. So obviously, we're giving you a precursor to what we got coming down the pipe. Now, you can create watch lists on that mobile app. You can search your favorite stocks. You can do screeners actually on the app as well. Of course, news is out there and aggregated, and you can also sort the news. I like that part by government or by whatever sector you're looking at on the app too as well. All right.
Now, Steve, would you mind? I'm going to actually unshare the screen here so that it makes the video full screen. Would you mind showing the Stock Clock app again, just so people can get a nice view of that? Let me go ahead and stop this share real quick. Ooh, there you go. There you go. So that's nice. It looks nice and real clean, looks easy to use.
Yep.
Looks nice and snappy. So, and we're also going to be expanding this, correct? This is, we're going to be adding to things like this. Okay, so this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. If you have questions or requests, please let us know. Drop those in the chat here so we can get those over to the developers.
Yep, our developer, John Gilbertson, is working very diligently into bringing you probably the best mobile app out there. I know there are other apps that I use out there, but I'm going to tell you, I have slowed up my usage of those other apps, and I've been using this one a lot more. And I'm really, really excited about it.
Okay, awesome. Well, let me jump back in here. We'll talk about some of the new things that we've done recently. Just pardon me for one moment. While I share this, there we go. Okay, so one of the things that I really quickly wanted to cover here is some of the upgrades that obviously I've been working with a lot of the customers that call in and have trouble, or text in and have trouble with the program. We're well aware of a lot of the issues that are going on. We're definitely growing. We're trying to expand our offering, and as a result, we're running into some issues. However, our development team is working at very, very hard on getting those fixed as soon as possible. So we have a number of performance patches that we've already released, with more scheduled. We have several squawk patches that we've released, and we have more of those scheduled. And so I just wanted to say that the squawk has been upgraded. If you have any trouble, remember, just mouse over it and click play. If you have any trouble, reach out to me, but it should be working a lot better than it has in the past, and we look forward to continually releasing these type of updates. So now you did mention earlier, Steve, you had mentioned the watch lists. What do you want me to show for the watch lists?
So one of the things about here at Benzinga is that we're trying to bring the usability of the platform in your trading day, your everyday trading day, to make it a whole lot easier. And so I have created several watch lists by sector. So one of them is retailers, obviously, but we have created a depository for you, and it's growing very fast. I believe there's about 15 or 16 right now on the watch list. But we put them in the help desk. Ron, if you'll show them in the help desk
Absolutely. So
where we have kept them. Yep.
So real quickly, to get to the help desk, you use the question mark in the upper right corner that's next to the alert and the vertical 3 dots. When you click on that, in the middle here under support will be a blue button that says visit help site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. That is a direct link right to our help site where you can go through the contact us. Big Beat's got his own corner with a bunch of his content there as well as tutorial videos. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will get to Big Beat's watch list that he was just speaking about. And right now, when we click in here, it looks like we've got 15 of these in here. I believe we're going to have 30 thereabouts when it's all said and done. So far, we've got 15 in here. And basically, if I click on one of these, what you're going to see in here is you're going to see a screenshot of the actual watch list with some instructions here at the top. So you can either click the first link at the top or the screenshot in order to download the watch list, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. You'll notice it's downloading in the bottom left corner of Chrome. And then if you want visual instructions on how to actually import this watch list into Pro, you can click on the link at the end here. It says click here. This will bring you to another help site document that will show you how to incorporate these. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up this Excel spreadsheet. I happen to have Excel on my machine. And I'm going to copy all of the tickers. All right, so there's 49 tickers here. I'm just going to select them all, hit Control-C on my keyboard. And then when I go back into Pro, let's go ahead and create this new watch list. All right, so let me go ahead and get rid of this details tool.
And this watch list here specifically is called World Markets. So you can literally watch all the ETFs of all the world markets in one fell swoop. I really like this, and I built this one so that you can watch the oil markets, the gold markets. When people ask me, well, how are the interactions between oil and gold and the stock market, they can physically now see it. And one thing that I do with these watch lists is I sort them by percentages, or I'll sort them by volume so I can see what's moving in the market. Because I don't necessarily want to trade the stock market. I may want to trade the oil market, or I may want to trade gold market, especially with all the tweets going on lately.
So let me just jump in. Let me just jump in here. I've copied all of those tickers to my clipboard. I created a new watch list using the plus button and the top of the watch list tool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Control V, and you'll notice that all of those tickers are pasted in at once at the top. Simply pressing enter on my keyboard one more time will load them into the watch list. Give it a few seconds, because if you're loading in a lot of these tickers, in that case I was loading in 49 at once, it takes a few seconds to populate that. So now that I've got that in here, we're exactly where Big Beat was just talking about. You said you like to sort them by change, is that correct?
By change percent, yep.
Change percent. So here we go. You can see that all the highest gainers here are at the top, and then it descending lists all the way down to the.
And you'll see that corn is the top one right there, and probably because of the weather. The weather is getting cold up north, and corn prices are pushing higher. So obviously, I can tell you that within seconds now, as opposed to having to go look for things.
And arguably the greatest ticker, because it's just completely self-descriptive. It's just corn. So it's pretty good one for the example there. Okay, so so you did all of the work here for our customers to find all of these different watch lists, and we've uploaded them for customers to take advantage of. That is.
And if you know what, we just did a screener for retail, Ryan. So if you go back to where the screener was for the retail, actually, I have created a retail page. So what I did was I added to the screener here, I would add a watch list. And from the watch list section in the help desk that we just showed you how to find, you can actually load up the retailers. So now not only you will find out, so Ryan is doing it now, but if you'll notice, I can now sort that. If maybe not Home Depot, but maybe something else that would be interesting. As you can see, it's Office Depot that's moving today, right? Or it's Boot Barn. So those kind of things we're looking at to see if they add up. Is our thesis, as I always say, is our thesis adding up to go forward and making a good trade here?
Awesome. Awesome. And then just another real quick tip here. Obviously, if you noticed something on the screener results that you didn't have on your watch list, you can just go ahead and type it in here at the top. Go
That's
ahead
correct.
and press enter, and then you can add it to your watch list. Obviously, you can also click on the ticker itself, which will load up a details tool, and click the add to watch list button that we have there. That will also allow you to add it to the watch list. So this is great, Steve. Thanks for doing all that work for our customers. I know when I'm creating watch lists for myself, a lot of the times I'm not sure if I have everything, or I'll put in the stocks that I'm familiar with, that I interact with and see on a daily basis, but I don't put in things that I, out of sight, out of mind type things. So the fact that you've gone ahead and created these watch lists for our customers, super helpful. They're helpful for me, that's for sure.
You don't have to recreate the wheel anymore. I've just already done it for you.
That's right. That's right. So what else can we expect
Well, once we find that stock, the one thing that I want to look at is the chart. So I always want to look at the charts to see how a stock has performed in the past, or an equity in the past. And one of the things that we're working on very diligently, our guy Tom Fishwick he is on this, and we are going to have real-time charting very soon. He is working night and day to bring us real-time charting. So if you'll see when the details page, you click on the tab that says charts, and you'll be able to pull those charts up. There's the Costco, there's a retailer for you. So all of a sudden, we went from sorting them out on a watch list to a screener to find the stocks, to being able to find it now in a real-time chart that'll be coming up very, very quickly.
Yeah, so just to reiterate again, these charts currently are delayed, but that will not be the case in the near future here. So look forward to real-time charting here, powered by TradingView.
And indicators, we'll have a ton of indicators for you, like MACD and RSI, Relative Strength Index, and movements. I love those indicators. We'll have all that fun stuff that I use. Alligators and runes, that most people, I'll explain those in another video probably.
You're going to have to explain alligators in a room to me. That's what a tease that is. That's just way too good. Now, so speaking of the charts, I pretty much can do almost everything from my platform. Am I going to be able to trade from the platform pretty soon? I mean, geez.
Yeah, you got it, Ryan. That's the next step that we're working on, and it is actually done. We are testing it phase now. Should be out here in maybe another week or two. It's going to have called traded integration. That's right. You can take the platform that you're using, whether that's TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, E-Trade, any of those, Ameritrade. You'll be able to trade right from the Benzinga Pro platform right into the platform of which you use to trade. And it's called traded integration. We are very excited about that. You'll be able to buy and sell your stocks right within Benzinga Pro.
That is super, super cool.
I am so excited about that one too.
I am too. That and the real-time charts, I think that's just, oh God, that's so awesome. That's so awesome.
And once you make that trade,
everything finance.
And once you've made that trade, Ryan, the thing I like to do is tell everybody. So we are also going to upgrade, that's right, the chatting ability. You'll be able to talk to people. You'll be able to mute some people you don't want to talk to. You'll be able to create rooms. All that fun stuff is coming to the chat. We are super excited about that. I know a lot of you have been asking about creating rooms. I know that I'm a biotech trader and a retail trader, so I want to have my own biotech room to be able to talk to those users. So I'm excited about that as well. We are a community here at Benzinga. We do care about them, and I'll tell you one thing about me that I love is, yes, I've spent 28 years in the market, and I like to impart that knowledge. I like raising the level of education amongst our users, and that is a very big part of the Benzinga Pro platform. Is it's not just a platform, but it's a community. There's several traders in there that are very smart that I listen to, even myself, and I glean from them as well.
Me too. Me too. Well, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. I also really enjoyed the chat. It'll be nice to have some expanded features, private messaging, being able to share charts, all of that stuff. So really looking forward to these changes. That's
one of the other things that we've just started doing, Ryan, is a Facebook Insider Pro. So if you become a member of Benzinga Pro, you'll also be able to go on our Facebook page with an insider view of what I have videos in there. I'm starting to give you real-time tips of what I'm seeing in the market, a little tip like the watch list, those things will be in the Facebook integration. So the community aspect of Benzinga is growing very fast.
That's really awesome. Well, I really enjoy the community. I'm hoping to have, you know, more and more people being a part of the community. I love how active the chat is on a regular basis. Not a day goes by where I don't find something in the chat that I had no idea was happening, and sure enough, there's a group of traders discussing it and sharing their opinions on it. So, just an absolutely wonderful resource. I mean, we have a ton of resources in here, Steve. So that's great.
And you know, that ton of resources don't come cheap to us. You know, we have to you know, Benzinga Pro has to go out and we have to buy that data, right? We have to
Right.
put it into a nice platform, and usually that platform is can be very expensive. Just to ask anybody who's using Bloomberg right now, or a Reuters, Thomson Reuters icon machine, they're very expensive, $2,500 a month. I mean, you know, I've had a Bloomberg for many years, but I'll tell you, I gave it up. I just didn't want to pay for it anymore. There was really no reason for it. And so I came into the fintech world, and I'll tell you, quite frankly, right now, I mean, $1,764 a year is pretty much half off of what a Bloomberg or Thomson Reuters or Icon machine costs. And that's roughly $174 a year. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, but I'm going to tell you, Ryan, I'm feeling pretty generous today.
Uh-oh. The last time you said that, it was crazy. Here we go.
All right. I tell you what, Ryan, how about today I will give the whole platform away for $912 for the whole year. $912 for the whole year. Now, I know that we
Mind
have
blown.
options. Yep. I know. That's about 50% off, isn't it?
It sure is.
All right. Well, the other thing that I'd like to do today, and I know that for me as an options trader, I made 2 options trades today, so I'm very dependent on the options signal within our signals, Ryan. And usually that's $178 a month. But I will tell you, for the next 12 hours, I'm feeling very generous. It's Friday. I will also throw that in as well.
Oh, so you're gonna so let me just make sure I got this all correctly here.
Yeah.
You're gonna give the platform and the option activity alerts together for $912 per year.
Yes.
Okay, so the quick math
That's
tells me that's
$76 a month, man.
you do math faster than I do. That's crazy. I was gonna say that's about $75 a month. That's unbelievable. So in order to get that, you have to get the essential annual subscription level, correct? So you have to.
You know what? I think we have a code too. Do we have a code, Brian? Are you going to
Yeah,
make one?
I believe that we do. Code is earnings 35. Earnings 35. So that's with an
All
S.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll only make it available today. How about that, Ryan?
All right. Well, so there you go. So what an incredible deal. I'm really looking forward to that. Earnings 35. And so the other thing for trial members, if you want to take advantage of this deal, we'll call this the pre-Black Friday deal. That's what we'll
We're
just
talking
put a
about
name.
earnings and Thanksgiving. I like that.
Exactly. I love it. So if you want to take advantage of this, if you're interested in this, what I suggest you do is you can go into the 3 dots in the upper right corner and then click on account. And then on the left side here, click billing. And you can then go ahead and add your card details to the billing screen. Reach out to me and I will go ahead and process the subscription sale. I'll make sure that you get the options. I'll make sure that you get the discounted rate. I'll make sure that you're all taken care of. So if any of you are interested in that, go ahead and load your card details into the platform in the billing menu. Then you can use the intercom chat in the bottom right corner. You can get a hold of me, the sales team, anyone that you need, and we will make sure that we get you all set up with the deal and the options. So
you know, one thing else I'm going to do also, Ryan, I feel that as a community, and I do my best to help those traders learn how to trade. I will throw in 1 hour of my time, personal phone call with that person. The next 2 traders who take advantage of our essentials annual right now subscription for the whole low price of, oh my goodness, $912. I will literally throw myself into it as well. I will give away 2 hours with me, 1 hour each, the first 2 traders who sign up for the annual.
So you're doing a personal phone call with the first 2 people that get this is getting better and better. This is incredible. And just we're not even at Thanksgiving or Christmas yet. It's amazing.
Well, I was born December 28th, so there you go, a Christmas baby, I guess.
Well, there you go. Okay, well that is fantastic. Let me see if we've got any questions right now.
Okay, sure. I'll take questions.
I don't see any questions yet. If you guys have any questions at all before we let you go here, drop them here in the chat. We've put the link to the mobile app in the chat. We also put a link to the checkout page with the coupon already applied. Okay, so in the chat, you can click on that second link. That will bring you to the checkout page with the coupon already applied. If you have any other questions, go ahead and let me know. You know, one of the other things that I wanted to do, Big Beat, here is I wanted to drop a link to the help site in the chat. I know you can access it from the platform, but I also want to drop that link right there in the chat for anyone that needs quick access to the help site. I'm really excited. I am really excited about this. So if anyone has any trouble or if anyone needs any help taking advantage of this deal, please reach out to me. Doesn't look like we have any questions right now. I thought for sure we were going to get somebody asking for what the score.
One of the things that has been popular lately is the volatility index, the VXX. And I have been trading that quite heavily over the last few days. I have noticed that when the VXX gets below 19, it's an easy pop over, and it's usually been a pop right back down. So if you trade options, the VXX has been a pretty good trader there as well. I'm also going to give out another one that I have noticed over the last few days, and that's Juniper Networks, JNPR. I have noticed a lot of $26 December calls. We've noticed that on a few places. I even saw it on CNBC. But Juniper Networks, JNPR for December, those big calls, a lot of call buying here for the 26s.
Well, just looking at that, just here, I mean, what a great, pleasant surprise again. Just looking at that, we've got the makings of a possible breakout here. So I can see why traders were scooping those up here. Just looking at the chart, you can see that 26 level looks to be really, really important. So, well, boy, Steve, you're full of all type of. Should I call you Santa? Should I call you Santa?
No, I'm not that big just yet. My hair is not quite white. But I will tell you one thing that I had looked at quite a bit is if you want to show them, Ryan, I'm going to give them another tidbit right here, is how to find option sweeps within the platform. I know a lot of you have been asking about the option sweeps, and I threw in options activity for free today. But Ryan, if you'll pull up a news feed for me, I will show you. I will show you how to find option sweeps in there. Ryan, if you'll type in the word options and the word sweep separately, you'll find that you'll be able to find all of the sweeps. There's options and there's sweep. There they are. The word option without an
No that's my fault. Glad you're watching over here. There they all are.
And I just talked about Juniper Networks. So if you'll type in now you can find them. If you type in JNPR, you can also find all of those calls that I was talking about. There they are. See the sweeps coming in?
Yes, sir. So these two rather large ones from yesterday, and then another one on Wednesday, all at that 26 level that you were talking about. Amazing.
That's right. That's right. So that's the kind of thing that you'll get from us. We'll be able to pull those option sweeps up for you, show you how to find. And you know what? There's still another thing. I'll show another thing. How about this? How about we show them insider trades? Those are people, the CEOs out there that are buying from the company, right? So if you type in the word form 4, the word form 4, just like that. And and if you add you got it right there, go and add press releases in SEC. Yeah. And then if you type in the word price, PRCE, that'll filter out a lot of those beneficial ownerships. And all of a sudden, now you're going to see all of those insider trades.
Amazing. Amazing. And so this information comes directly from Edgar. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Wow.
Edgar is the SEC depository for all of the data coming in.
Amazing. So you've pretty much put everything on sale. You gave out picks. You went over some of your old picks that worked, mind you, and now you're showing tips on how to use options, which you also threw in, and insider trades. That is amazing. That is a great way to start off the holiday season, the retail earnings season. So unbelievable. I still don't see any questions. Looks like we did a good job answering everyone's questions. So just a reminder again, this sale is live only for 12 hours. The code is earnings35. The link is in the chat. If you need help doing it, you can always reach out to me via the chat. I will help get you signed up. And until next time, happy trading.